Trading with Rejects here. Today I'm going to be doing some exotic weapon reviews. First off, I'm going to get swarmed by titans. First off, we're going to be talking about auto rifles. Since they are, I think, they have the most, but are the weakest. So, let's start with the old Xolo Supercell. Makes Xolo special is the fact that it's the only elemental primary in the game right now, since those got flushed out in year 2. So the main perk here, or I should say the intrinsic perk, is the arc projectiles, and they have the chance to chain on enemies when there's more than one together. After that, the perk is persistence, which makes it more accurate as you shoot, and then bolts from the blue, which makes it so that double kills with the gun give you more ammo and charge your super. So this gun is generally pretty good, all things considered. It's probably one of the most useful of all the auto rifles currently. They're not in a great state in the game, but of all of them, the Xolo has probably the most utility since it can chain those arc projectiles and do a lot of damage to groups of enemies, as well as the super energy from the double kills. It's great at ad clearance, like thralls and dregs and whatnot. So, and especially in arc burn. Arc burn, this thing is nasty. It should be the only weapon in your exotic weapon in your weapon slots for arc burns. So that's pretty much what the Xolo's good at. You can really build it however you want with these 6 perks here. So it's just up to your preference, your playstyle. But overall, I think the Xolo has the most utility out of all the auto rifles. Next up, I'm going to talk about the Fabian strategy. This gun is only available for Titans. You get it through doing the Gunsmith quest on a Titan, obviously. So after year 3, the Rise of Iron, this Fabian strategy got a pretty nice little buff here. Its intrinsic perk, his kills with this weapon grant bonus damage for a short time. It's crowd control, it's whatever, but it's nice to have nonetheless. Life support is the next perk, which is okay. It can help sometimes. And then the main one is front lines. So and front lines, which is this gun's special perk, gives you increased handling, stability, and rate of fire when enemies are close. And the kills automatically reload a portion of the magazine. So pretty much what this gun can do for you is it can clear out ads like nobody's business. It rivals the Xolo in that line. So pretty much if you're facing a lot of low tier enemies, this gun is pretty good for you. Obviously only if you're a Titan. But it does drain ammo pretty quickly, so just keep an eye out on that. But besides that, it's a pretty solid auto rifle. I wouldn't take it into PvP though. Alright, so next up we have the Hardlight. This gun sucks. Anyway, so its intrinsic perk is kinetic damage. It does kinetic damage. That's it. Cool perk. Alright, Volatile Light. Rounds fired from this weapon have no damage fall off, which is nice. They open-penetrate targets, which can be nice, and ricochet off hard surfaces, which is pretty much useless. The other perks are pretty basic. Just don't use this gun. It's not good. It's just not good. It's unique, and it looks cool, but it's just not. Just don't use it. Next up, we have the Summaries regime. This gun has seen a lot of ups and downs since it first launched. So this guy's, and well, I guess it's just kinetic damage, nothing special about that. Alright, so the Summaries regime's biggest thing here is its versatility. It's a workhorse, it can do whatever you need it to do, and it can do it pretty well. So your 2 choices here are spinning up and focused fire. Spinning up means as you fire it, its rate of fire is going to go up. Focused fire, when you zoom in and you keep firing, the weapon will get slower and more accurate. So spinning up, if you can get it to proc, can absolutely melt people in the crucible. Focused fire, however, is more for the medium range, more than close range, and more of a PvE style of play. And with the Summaries Legacy, it pretty much gives you glass half full. where the bottom half of each magazine deals bonus damage, and it has a chance to return health, which can be nice when it procs. The other two are just basic perks, nothing special. So like I said, this gun can pretty much, it's like a jack of all trades. It can do pretty much anything you need it to do, but it isn't going to change the game in any way anymore. It's a solid gun, it'll get stuff done, that's about it. Next one we have is Monte Carlo. I haven't used this gun too much, but it's not bad. It's got kinetic damage for its intrinsic. It has bonus hip fire, and the Monte Carlo method is its special perk. Dealing damage with this weapon reduces your melee cooldown and grants a chance to fully charge your melee with each kill. Now this can be a very handy weapon if you're running a melee build in any capacity, because every single bullet will charge your melee pretty quickly. So if you get a full magazine into an enemy, you can get a lot of melee charge out of that. And it's got a really nice stability rating for a high rate of fire auto rifle. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't use it too much because I don't like my melee. I say I don't like my melee. I have other ways to charge my melee, especially as a Titan running Sunbreaker most of the time. I don't have a problem with melee charge. But this gun is pretty good, and with its high rate of fire and stability, it's okay in the Crucible. Obviously, pulse rifles are going to be the name of the game as of right now. If you're not running a pulse rifle, you're probably not playing PvE. PvP, not PvE. Whatever. But it's a good gun. It has its uses, but it's not good for everything because it has such a low impact. And I must say, geez, this one, that just looks so nice. Don't have it though. And then our last auto rifle, which is new with Rise of Iron, is the Kvass 7GOX. This gun is a lot of fun because it's so customizable. So it has intrinsic +2 character agility. And then you have your two scopes, which is the old broken one, and the new one that still has a little crack in it. Then you have automatic, burst fire, or semi-auto, making it a auto, pulse, or scout rifle. Hammer forged, rifled barrel, braced frame, depends on what your rate of fire is. Extended mag, counterbalance, rangefinder, 900 rounds per minute, or 550 rounds per minute. That's going to adjust your rate of fire rounds per minute. So, what I've come to learn from using this gun is that the best way you can set it up is to make it a bullet hose, an absolute stable bullet hose. You give it full auto, you give it, braced frame, counterbalance, and 900 RPM. It turns into a death machine at certain ranges. This gun is pretty good, and it's okay in PvP. I'd say the Suros would still beat it out. And it's alright in PvE. It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's somewhere in the middle. And really it depends on how well you can handle the stability of it when you are firing it full auto. And the cool thing about it is you can change it up, you can have it however you want. You can give it burst fire with 900 RPM, make it fire super quick, or you can give it a scout with the 450 and make it more hard-hitting. You can't really make it too powerful. Impact's going to be low regardless. But this gun is extremely versatile. You can use it in pretty much anything and still be okay with it. Only problem is getting the quest and going about and doing all that just for an okay gun. It's good, it's nostalgic, there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just not, the most powerful gun in the game. So, that sums up the first part here of our exotic weapon review list. Next up, I'll be doing hand cannons, starting with my boy, the First Curse. I love that gun. So, until next time, I will catch you all later. Bye. The fuck was that?